Hey all, welcome back to Archetypical. Excited to have both Nathan Christmas, Mr. Christmas, and Jacob Wilhite. Did I say your last name correctly?
It's Wilhite, but close enough.
Wilhite, on to chat a little bit about kind of their careers here at Archetype. Both been here pretty much a year and a half here now, and chat about also kind of their OneStream experience thus far and how they got into it in the first place. So let's start off with a fun question. I'm trying to remember the fun one that I asked you before. Did I ask you smell?
Yes, you did.
I asked you smell,
Yeah.
okay. And you were out there for that other one. So why don't we go with favorite pizza topping?
Oh.
I used to hate it as a kid, but it's probably sausage now.
Sausage?
Really?
Yep.
See, I'm out there. I'm a pineapple guy. I like pineapple on pizza.
Pineapple with what? Like, are you going to say ham?
Ham? Yeah.
Oh, ham and pineapple.
Yeah.
I'm more of a pineapple and chicken. I like pineapple too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I want a little heat. Pineapple and jalapeno maybe. Like,
Yeah.
oh.
So, but you are pineapple though.
I'm in on pineapple.
Okay.
I don't like, I used to.
That's divisive, I know.
It is. I used to be against it. Like anything cold, cold on a pizza, it just didn't make sense to me. But
it gets ran through the oven, so it's not cold anymore.
no, but it still kind of is. I don't know. I feel like sometimes it's still like not fully heated up all the way. I don't know.
It's good.
I'm sticking by it.
It tastes good.
So why don't we go through a little background, kind of a little bit of your career. Obviously, I know, Nathan, we did that with our kind of one-on-one conversation.
Yep.
Maybe out yet. I don't know. But why don't we start with you, kind of a little bit of your background?
Yeah, so my background is, work history not so long. I basically started here right out of college. But while I was in college, I worked for UPS in the Air District, doing like really specifically management. So handling a lot of people, all sorts of different things, really tight, deadlines, things like that, and then a lot of, aircraft security, making sure that thing's going to get where it's going to go. We have weight distributed across the plane how it's supposed to be, and so there is definitely some seriousness to it. So
yeah. And you were doing school at the same time, right? With
school same time
in finance. What I can't remember.
No, so I was actually kind of going for a health administration kind of role.
Oh, okay.
For a little bit, yeah. So ultimately ended up in some weird directions with college, but ultimately I'm here in finance.
It was like physical education.
Yeah, physical therapy.
Yeah, physical therapy. That's right.
Yeah. So.
He lifts.
I dabble.
Jacob, what about you? You lift?
Every now and then, when it's convenient,
How about your background? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so very similar. So I grew up in Louisville, Kentucky. UPS Worldport is in Louisville, Kentucky. So same thing you just heard. 6.5 years at UPS. Worked third shift. They paid for my school while I was there.
Nice.
Did some operations. Did a lot of things at UPS. Did operations, training, and some finance. So got my school paid for there, and finished up my degree at Archetype now.
Nice. Yeah, I love that. And tell me a little bit. I know we have our AOA program. We have 5 graduates that just came through it. This was really the program that we just did was technically our first round of the official AOA program. Right. But you two were really kind of our guinea pigs of the AOA program, which we gave you guys that heads up beforehand.
I was gonna say, I knew that going in.
Yeah. Both were given that, like, hey, we really want to bring you in. We think you're going to be great consultants. We're trying to build out a polished, well-defined program for people to learn OneStream and become OneStream consultants. So a year and a half in, what's kind of been your guys' experience? Was it worth it too?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I think for me, like you alluded to, we were kind of guinea pigs, and I kind of knew that coming in. And that was kind of the, part of what was attractive to me is, is coming in, helping to build something from the ground up, and that's a really cool thing to be able to use the experience that we had in the learning of OneStream and the industry in general, and then practically how do you apply that into a curriculum, that actually, does what it's supposed to do and actually effectively, leads to OneStream consultants. So, so I mean, like I said, going into that, I knew that was going to be the case. So the whole time I was learning everything, taking notes, like how could this process be better? How could it be smoother? If I had some sort of structure, a little bit more structure, what would I want it to look like? And I think that, me, Jacob, and others have been able to kind of contribute in creating that, and hopefully, it's working out pretty well. I know the AOA team's looking like they're going to be pretty successful at this point. So a lot of smart folks there. So excited to see what they're going to do.
No, absolutely. What about for you, Jacob?
Yeah, so never would I imagine I'd be in consulting. Obviously I have a finance background, but at first heard of OneStream at UPS. So we were going to start implementing it, and actually it's my mentor, Christina Otello here at Archetype, who is starting to do that implementation while she worked at OneStream for UPS. So kind of heard about it there, and then obviously I knew Nathan, and then he mentioned he's starting to get into that and in consulting. I was like, okay, so had to check it out, and was really intrigued by it, and I just thought it was really cool software. I knew it was kind of the new thing on the block, and I just knew I had to get into it. I had to jump at the opportunity, if it presented itself. So it was a no-brainer for me.
And you guys both, at the time, were living together too.
That's correct. Yeah.
So do you think that the AOA program we have built is that we want it in person, we want it so that the people are collaborating together, just like we have a very collaborative culture already here at Archetype. Did you guys feel like that was beneficial for you guys to have to be in the same room, or did it lead to any fun arguments?
Yeah.
No, yeah, who's better? No. Yeah, who's got this? No, yeah, definitely something that I think was super invaluable is learning it at the same time with other people, and then you're constantly, he's got, one thing you'll find about OneStream is it's very different in application with different clients and different use cases and things like that. So while he's on this one project kind of learning a particular thing, I'm learning something else. And so then be able to come together and collaborate, just kind of discuss the things that we're doing. It allows you to learn a lot more, at a faster pace because, you get to learn from their experiences, they learn from yours. And yeah, I mean, it was awesome. And like you said, we were roommates for a while and, both doing the UPS nights and long hours and things like that. So, it was great to have somebody even through that process who's doing the same things, grinding the same way, to have that same work ethic, to get to where, we're at now. It's awesome to have people around you.
Did it help that this guy already had more finance already under his belt?
Yeah, no, that's definitely something that's super helpful for me. So I wasn't, I don't have an accounting degree, so I can go to him and be like, hey, what's, and he's like, it's just this. And I'm like, oh, cool. So definitely a good resource for me.
Yeah, and it's just been a great experience, having a personal relationship already coming into the job and somebody that you're really comfortable with, because you don't have to feel so silly when you ask some simple questions, or maybe there's something that's just challenging that we both have to do, but when you kind of come together and you work together and you figure it out, even if it takes you, a little bit longer than it would have with somebody who's more of an expert, when you learn things the hard way, you tend to retain that information a lot better, right? So when you have that blood in the game, you remember it, right? Yeah. So I think that's been the biggest benefit is just that relationship is already there, and then just the comfort of going to each other. Hey, I don't care if I seem silly to you. What does this mean? So there's been a lot of that.
Yeah. Were you upset when you finally got married and moved out?
Oh, he kicked me out. Yeah. So yeah, I was upset.
So even better, yeah. He upset.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So fun question as we go into some other ones though. So both down in Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah.
You're both in Louisville, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yep.
What's the best bourbon?
Ooh.
I'm a Four Roses type of guy. I'm not like a bourbon snob or anything, but anything Four Roses make is typically pretty good. Their single barrel is just really good for the price, about $50 fifth of bourbon, and it's good bang for the buck.
Yeah, I like. I'm probably along the same lines. I'm actually it's sad. I'm kind of more of a whiskey kind of guy. So rye. So Angel's Envy. It's right there in Louisville too. They make that.
Okay,
there, so,
okay. But yeah. I thought. What? Tell me the difference between bourbon and whiskey. I thought bourbon is.
Okay, so I don't know the exact difference. But bourbon, they have charred barrels, and I believe there's a different type of grain used in rye whiskey.
Yeah, and it has to do with the condition and the climate of Kentucky that allows it to be bourbon. So,
yeah, I thought that was a key thing. Was it has to be Kentucky.
So I don't think it technically legally has to be Kentucky. It's not champagne, right? But it's not bourbon if it's not from Kentucky. Yeah. We all know that.
Yeah, right.
But I would consider any whiskey then that's from Kentucky to be bourbon.
Nope.
Oh.
No.
There's still okay.
There's different proceses and different regulations.
The amount of ignorance that I show for myself.
I'm sure I've spewed some ignorance on this topic. So I'm not an expert on it at all. So.
I love it. Well, looking at kind of, we obviously hopefully have a lot more AOA coming down the pipe, as well as we have our AOA folks that just wrapped up graduation of their program. What advice do you give to not only our AOA folks that are really just getting into that consulting position, but people who are considering doing the program? What kind of advice do you have for them to be successful here at Archetype?
I think you have to come into it, with humility. You got to come into it with a willingness to learn and say, I don't know. And I think the great thing about Archetype is there is a lot of very bright minds here and very intelligent people. And just to be able to get to spend time with them and get to pick their brains and ask questions, and the patience they have for us younger folks is just awesome. So the opportunity that we're in just to learn OneStream, finance, I think it's just so great here. Yeah,
and ask questions, because I think that's something that's, it can be intimidating. You don't want to sound stupid. You don't want to, it's like, well, maybe this is obvious. But no, I mean, you're coming into a brand new, whole brand new world, so ask the questions, make sure you're applying them and put them into practice. And then for folks who are considering whether or not they want to do it, my advice is do it.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
make the jump.
Yeah, make the jump. It may be seeming a little intimidating, but it's worth it. It's 100% worth it.
Love it. Well, I mean, both you guys have been crushing it. Year and a half in, keep up the great work, obviously. I've heard nothing but amazing things, and appreciate you both coming on, chatting with me, having the conversation.
Absolutely.
And we'll do this again, I'm sure. I want to see kind of, as your guys' career continues to grow, what changes, what obstacles have you guys run into, what differences, and can continue to help kind of people that are wanting to build this kind of career figure out how to do that and do it in the right manner. So thanks again.
No problem.
Thank you all for tuning in, and come back next time.